58 people died a half-century ago tomorrow in a tornado tirade across northern Illinois that could not have hit at a worse time.
In tonight's cover story, Tom Skilling spoke with survivors of the Belvidere tornado, many who were children when the tornadoes hit their school.
This is unheard of.
Dale Marks, Jeff Berg, and Jim Rush sat down with us at the Boone County Family Restaurant in Caledonia, just north of Belvidere. All are now in their 60s. But on April 21st, 1967, Dale was 13, Jeff and Jim 15, more worried about their weekend plans than the weather.
When I saw it, it was just like 4, 5, 6 blocks wide, black thing, and Highland Hospital exploded.
It was a hot and muggy Friday. At times it would pour rain, then clear up.
It was a beautiful day, and all of a sudden it's just total devastation.
They were boarding buses when they described the sky turning a black, gray, greenish color.
They lined up right in here, and then we loaded up and went around the school and stopped right here, and that's when it all hit.
They couldn't see the tornado because the school was blocking their view, but adults told them to get off the buses and go inside.
And it was just seconds, you know, you really, and kind of got a hold of us and blew us out. I remember hearing a big thud behind me, even though it was so loud, and I looked around and there was a roof of a bus, probably, 3 feet away from me.
I felt lucky to be alive but I figured my sister was gone and everybody else that I knew was gone also.
Jim Rush remembers buses in the air and covering a female classmate as they hit the dirt.
They literally went up off the ground 5, 6, 8 feet and then just disappeared.
Amazing.
And then I covered my head and it was all over with.
I remember all the glass breaking and coming in. Next thing I knew about it, I was about 200 feet from where the bus was. I don't remember nothing.
Dale Marks was in the 8th grade and one of the lucky ones. 7 other children on his bus were killed, the highest death toll among some 25 buses damaged.
I was in a wheelchair all summer.
Yeah.
In fact, I started high school on crutches that fall.
This famous Associated Press photograph shows the members of the Winnemucker family hanging on to each other for dear life.
Can you imagine being a parent and driving up there? My dad said when he drove up East Avenue there to the school, he just knew we were all dead.
A few miles from the high school, out on Lawrenceville Road at the Turner's Centennial Farm, Gary Turner was living out his own F4 tornado nightmare.
And the tornado come from this direction. The barn all disappeared. It took a wagon that I had feed in and put it in a tree.
And yet the cattle were untouched.
The cattle didn't get hurt.
Turner was home alone fixing a fence when he jumped into his truck to pick up more supplies.
I did not see a funnel cloud. It looked like the whole cloud was on the ground.
Turner likes to say he's among the first tornado chasers, though it was no joke when he found himself trying to outrun the tornado in reverse.
And I had this old truck, and I was a little worried about the door, so I was trying to get down below, and the truck did a flip. I rolled up against the pole and stopped me from going further.
Though the sudden stop did a number on his face.
This is me when it hit that truck at the top of the dashboard. It knocked all my teeth out.
Despite his brush with death, Turner still lives on the family farm. The tornado is here too, part of a colorful mural marking another chapter in their Boone County history.
This top ring is a 40-inch diameter, and that's to represent the 40th anniversary of the tornado.
Oh, wow.
This bottom one is 3.5 inches, which represents 3:50 p.m. is when the tornado hit.
Jeff Spradling put a lot of thought into designing the funnel cloud-shaped memorial to the victims at Belvidere High School, and his aunt and uncle's home movies are giving this 50-year-old story new life.
The actual tornado warning did not get issued until 4:03 p.m. and the clock stopped at Belvidere High School at 3:50.
Mike Doyle has written the definitive book on the '67 tornado.
This happened in an afternoon, just as school was letting out, when there were so many people and children. That's why there's so many lives were lost that day. So many children died that day. 17 children died that day.
The way it was with the buses there should have probably been hundreds of people killed that day.
Sometimes when I stop and think that it's been 50 years and still you can remember certain instances just striking yet after that much time. And
3 inches of snowfall fell on the area a few days after the Oakland-Belvidere tornadoes, complicating cleanup efforts. 50 years later, we live in a different world. Better forecasts are saving lives, and smartphones let us carry weather warnings everywhere we go.
What words of advice do you have for people?
Listen to the weatherman.
yeah.
Tom Skilling, WGN News.
Boy, amazing stories. And Tom's going to be back tomorrow night to report on survivors of the Oak Lawn tornado.
He talks about both of those in historical perspectives all the time around tornado season. It's amazing to see the pictures and see the people.
And see the people,
yeah.
right.